Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and once more welcome back to yet another Magic the Gathering Lore Explained video. Last time we talked about Chishiro and his role to play in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and tonight we're going to be diving into Innistrad Midnight Hunt to talk about Leinore, the Autumn Sovereign.
Bring together a myriad of humans and throw a festival for your coven, as the Harvestide Sovereign Lenore has the ability to gift your creatures a 1/1 counter as you see fit. Use this ability on the coven for Lenore and her guests so you can reap those bounties turn after turn, while Lenore's coven provides dark human buffs that will ensure the coven remains active to the night. As hope grows among your revelers, watch it fade from your opponent's sides.
Among the many ancient Harvestide traditions, it is the appointment of the Harvestide Sovereign, the Witches of the Dawnheart Coven, to elect an outsider to serve as the marshal of the festivities. The Sovereign's role is to establish connection between the witches and common folk of Innistrad. Most importantly, a truly excellent Sovereign infuses the witches' rituals with additional power, greatly contributing to their success. When it came time to select this season's Sovereign, Leinore was the obvious choice, known for her love of all things festive and communal. One can easily identify a Leinore-hosted event by the abundance of food, drink, and somewhat excessive decorations. While she fully understood the festival's somber significance in restoring the balance between night and day, she refuses to let that dampen the mood, and her hard work instills both the witches and townsfolk with hope, and that hope inspires them through all of the darkest nights. During the preparations for the festival, Leinore and her younger sister Cyniana found a mask in the forest. Contrary to the wishes of her older sister, Cyniana wore the mask and ended up possessed by the powers of the witch Sareth. One night, Leinore followed her sister into the forest and discovered, along with the Caleta and Sareth, was using Cynia to summon a creature called the Coiled One. The ritual was impeded by Leinore and Kelta, and they were able to save Cyniana. Interesting thing of note, Leinore and her younger sister, Cyniana's mother, was a werewolf after Avakin's unmaking of the curse mate broke, causing her mother to leave their family to follow her baser instincts. Given that I am a huge Halloweener, I love Halloween, I love the holiday and all its traditions, and I know all the creepy lore, I find it so awesome that the second commander deck I choose happens to be based around a character that, set in the magic lore, is literally a witch that has expertise in celebrating the Halloween holiday, or as it's called in magic, Harvestide. Or at least it is called Harvestide in this particular plane within the Magic multiverse. Something to note is that there is a card featured in this deck called Ruinous Intrusion, which features art of a monstrous werewolf leading a brutal attack on a pumpkin patch filled with jack-o'-lanterns, with the statement, "The gourd carving was supposed to take place after the feast." Could this potentially be the werewolf that Leinore and her sister's mother becomes before she eventually decides to make the hard decision to leave the coven? The kid's mother would become a werewolf and ultimately destroy and leave a brutal attack on the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin patch, injuring and attacking anybody that came close to her. My guess is that this was not intended to happen, simply because this coven of Halloween-themed witches are pretty powerful, and probably did not expect something like this to happen to ruin their festivities and preparations for this Harvestide festival. Now, not much is known in regards to what happened when Leinore and her sister's mother transformed into a werewolf and rampaged across the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin patch, but it is assumed whatever did happen when Lenore's mother came to and realized what she had done, probably injured and hurt a lot of her family and friends, decided to leave, because This had to be something so bad that it would cause her to leave not only her family, but her children. And the way the lore talks about Lenore and Cyniana's mom, it almost seems like she actually was willing to leave the Coven of Witches and specifically her family to go live in the woods with other werewolves. Like she wanted to. Now we've arrived at probably the more technical aspect of this video, and that is how Lenore plays as a commander deck. Lenore is very unique in the way she plays, specifically because most decks use monsters, and it's all about putting monsters out there and putting spells on them and giving them equipment to make them stronger. However, this is just not the case for Lenore. Lenore works with human soldiers, and in fact, the more humans you have in play and the more counters you give to said humans are just going to make your deck, and Lenore specifically, a lot stronger. Do not go into a game with Lenore playing how you would usually play a kind of creature match, because that's just not what you want from Lenore, as she mainly works with human characters in battle. Personally, I would not recommend this deck if you're just starting Magic, simply because it offers all kinds of tricks, but never any treats, and it's a very strategic and hard deck to play. And I would be more inclined to recommend something like Shishiro Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, simply because that is an easier deck to play, as it's just customization of monsters, and it works really well for something like a starter deck if you're just coming into Magic the Gathering. But this deck is a very strategic deck if you like to make more calculating moves within matches with your friends, and definitely it's a lot of fun, and it has a lot of great lore involved with it, and how Innistrad celebrates its version of Halloween. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. Do take care, have a great night, and I'll see ya in the next video.